Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our show brought to you by Safety Systems. And when you hear the name Safety Systems, you naturally think of security systems. And yes, they are absolutely top-notch in that field. But they are also the kings of the audiovisual needs field here in East Tennessee. Drop by their showroom and ask them about their Sonos surround sound systems. We're talking wireless audio throughout your home, perfect crystal clear sound. And the price tag can be as small as $1,000 or less. I mean, it's fantastic. I've been out there to their showroom at Safety Systems. You should stop by or check them out online. You're going to see their website right now, as a matter of fact. Let's go over to the Safety Systems drawing board. Guys, I quickly want to take a look at a couple of schedule rankings. Well, we'll look at one. I'll mention another. The NCAA bases schedule strength rankings on winning percentage of opponents from the previous year. Now, that can be a little misleading, obviously, but their listing has Tennessee 2015 schedule as the 24th toughest in the country. You see there on the board, anybody with an asterisk is in the SEC, for those who don't really know why they're watching today. I would figure anybody watching today's show would know who's in the SEC, but still the asterisk is there for you. Tennessee ranks 24th, and the reason is their opponents last year won 57.7% of their games. You see the record there. Tennessee will play teams that had 9 teams that had winning records last year. They'll play 8 teams that were bowl eligible last year. Now that looks pretty tough for Tennessee, okay? ESPN, however, came out with something. They have a formula with their computers that say the average team should beat this team X amount of times. And then they rank that team like that. They're just, anyway, ranking non-conference schedules only. They put Tennessee's as the 13th toughest, with Oklahoma and Bowling Green, who went to a bowl and won 8 games last year.
In the SEC.
13th in the SEC. Yes, thanks for correct. Yeah. Missouri is the only team with a weaker non-conference schedule, which makes 0 sense to me.
So it makes it the second weakest in the SEC.
Yes.
Another way to, I mean, that's.
Well, that's absurd.
Can we come up with a third way to say it? And now Spanish. So you've got some people who think it's quite difficult. Others saying, your non-conference is a breeze, which I don't picture. But here's what I'm going to do. You look at those numbers, you hear those facts. There you go. Thank you, Cruz. Cruz Cox, our wonderful director, just following right along. You look at Tennessee. I'm going to put the over/under at 7.5. I think that's the most dangerous place to put it. I think that's perfect. 7.5 over/under, boys. Chuck, I'll start with you.
I think the safe route to go on that's to take the under because I think it's just, we're looking at 7 wins, a pretty good season with all of the moving parts that still have to fall into place in the schedule.
Lack of depth at quarterback, lack of depth at running back, and okay. He goes under on 7.5. Over.
8 was my number, so 8 is a little more than 7.5, so over, yeah.
This is kind of like that old game show, Card Sharks. Higher, lower, higher, lower. Okay, I watch game shows. Yeah. What do you think, Jim?
I'm going over because of their weak non-conference schedule.
Attaboy.
Not playing anybody.
They're not playing anybody.
Northeast Oklahoma, is that who they play?
Yeah. I guess Oklahoma's A&M or something. Yeah. No, I'm going to go with 8. I think 8 is what I projected, yeah.
Okay, so we got 2 overs and an under. Bob?
I tell you what, I'm going to go over. I've said 8. I think that's what they'll win, and now once again, that's staying pretty healthy. Mm-hmm. If you start throwing in injuries, but as of right now, I'm going to go 8.
I'm going to predict injuries.
I'm going to predict injuries and say under. I think 7 is probably a safer bet, but 8 is obviously possible, and there's no question.
No. I think getting to 9, you start stretching it a little bit. But 8's in the wheelhouse.
You really have to take almost a quantum leap in your own division against teams and programs you haven't been able to beat for a while.
Another good show that I used to watch. Quantum Leap and Card Sharks. All right. When we come back, I don't know what we'll talk about. I know what we're talking about. It's our video daily double as I rip off another game show, Jeopardy. And we're going to show you some video of Steve Spurrier if you haven't seen that. How can that apply to Rick Barnes? We'll discuss. Also, Tennessee got a great commitment from a quarterback prospect this past week. But the way he made the commitment, does that cause any concerns about ego? We'll discuss. Come on back on the Sports Source.
Follow the Sports Source online at sportsource.tv and on Twitter at SportsSourceTV.